Hello there. Thank you for tuning in to Books and Budget. My name is Eve, and if it's in the books or on the books, I want to talk to you about it. So today we are here to do a monthly budget for June 2024. This is going to be probably the most eventful month of my life. As I'm filming, it's May 29th, and I will be giving birth next week, so first week of June, which is exciting, terrifying. We're really thrilled and so happy that he's on his way. But yeah, it's gonna be quite the month. And so I'm just trying to put things down on paper so that I feel a little bit more comfortable and prepared and confident about the not baby aspects of domestic life. You know, kind of running the household with my husband at my side. We both collectively take on a lot of the domestic responsibilities, including budgeting, but generally the finances fall to me, just given my own background. Anyways, I digress. I'm going to be referring to some documents that are off camera to remind myself of dates and like estimates from past months as to what our bills have been. So this is very much a rough sketch. I don't know how accurate it will be. Just again, this is going to be a really unexpected month, and so we're just trying to write down and plan out the things that we know for sure are coming our way. So with that in mind, I will be paid during my maternity leave. I'm very fortunate to work at a company that has a paid maternity plan, so my paychecks will not change during my leave time. I'm going to turn this slightly just so it's easier for me to write. So my first paycheck will hit on May 7th. Oh, sorry, I'm just realizing I put May. These should all be 6s, so I guess I'll just kind of curl this down here. Disregard the sloppiness now. Sorry about that. 2,600, and I get paid the same. It's actually slightly over that, but I always just factor in. I round down. I feel like it's better to round down with income rather than round up. And my husband is a teacher. He actually doesn't get paid in the summer months, so he only gets paid for 10 months out of the year. His last paycheck actually hit last Friday. But so we received a lump sum for like the remaining months of the school year, remaining months of the year. So instead of receiving like the amount that he would get in one paycheck, he received the amount that he would get in essentially 10 paychecks or 6 paychecks or something like that. Whatever the case may be, that we put that into a high yield savings account, and we're going to kind of every 2 weeks, the days that he would have been paid, send it back to our regular account. So those are approximately a little bit over $1,800 a month. And then in our bank account currently, we're expecting, or rather we have about $1,500, a little bit over that, but you know, there's just still a few days left in the month. So that in mind, I'm going to tally that up. So we're at a little bit over 10 grand in income for the year. And just so that everyone knows, these numbers for our paychecks are after tax. They are after contributions to our retirement plans, after our insurance. So this is truly just like the dollar amount that hits our checking account for our direct deposit. And then we have some savings and sinking funds that we continue to pull, you know, like cash envelopes and things, or high yield savings account things that we pull out further at the end of the month once we know how much rollover is available to us. We're bringing over more of a rollover this month than we normally probably would. Normally I'd reallocate some of our May checking account money to some savings, but given the month that we're expecting to have, we don't know what our hospital bill is going to look like yet. I have an estimate, but you never know. Sometimes things go awry, sometimes things cost more than you expect. So I'm just playing it safe, keeping a little bit more liquid as we're going into June. So first things first, the true fixed expense is our mortgage. We pay about $20.75, and again, I'm mostly will be rounding these numbers. I don't really want to write down the dollars and cents here. It just seems unnecessary. Oh dang it, I did it again. I know we're in May, but I need to be writing down June. Our gym membership is actually just for me. I don't know the date that it hits, so I'm just going to pretend like it's on the 1st just so that I have that money available. Subscriptions, so Spotify, Peacock, the Apple like cloud, things like that. Those again have varying dates, but I'm going to put that at, oh my god, I can't stop. Sorry. I'm going to put that at the 1st. Oh, this is going to drive me insane now. Like every single one of these has the 5 that I've slightly altered. Acorns is a micro investing company. I just put in $10 a month every month. I'm not currently doing like the roundups. If any of you use Acorns, I probably will turn that back on, but just, you know, for now, $10 a month, it's just like a little micro investing. So it's got probably a little over $1,000 in there. Like it's not anything substantial. Our phone bill is going to hit on the 23rd, and I just got a new phone and I just switched to my husband's plan. So we're actually paying this month slightly more than we normally will. Normally I think it's going to be about $170, but this upcoming month it's going to be, if I'm not mistaken, a little under $225. And you know, because it's like the transfer costs and things like that. Thanks for Eisen. But you know, we'll hopefully be able to get that down to a much more manageable number soon. Car insurance. This is for my husband's car. This will also hit the last week of the month, and that is about $193. Xfinity is our cable and internet. This will hit at the end of the month. We just paid this for May today. It's about $145. And then Green Sky. This is actually a permaseal loan. A few years ago when we bought our house, almost right after we bought our house in the winter, there was a massive snowstorm, and it was probably 2-3 feet of snow accumulated over a week or so, maybe even more than that. And then there was like a deluge of rain where we got like 3 inches of rain in a day, and so it melted all of those feet of snow. And anyways, our basement flooded, so we got a permaseal drain tile. So this is an interest-free loan that we pay each month on the 6th. For 5 years essentially, so we're about halfway through it. We are well on track to paying it off slightly early. I would like to pay it off even earlier than that, but though it is debt and it could be factored in over here, we have just a regular occurring payment that for now is, you know, just we're going to keep it as is, because again, we've got the baby on the way. We're just kind of factoring it in as if it is a fixed expense. Again, 0% interest. It will be paid off in the loan period, so we're not too concerned there. Okay, so now I'm gonna tally all of this up. I've got like my computer mouse. I'm using my computer calculator here to tally this. 193, 145, 105. So we're looking at a little bit over $2,800 in fixed expenses. These are things that we pay on a monthly basis. So let me actually, as I'm getting comfortable here, getting the ball rolling, I'm going to start putting these in so I don't forget. Okay, and then next up we have our variable expenses. So things that we spend money on every month, but either the amount changes or it's not every single month out of the year. So I'm putting it into the variables category. Groceries, I'm not sure what this is going to look like this month. We normally spend about $400 in a month on grocery store food, but you know, when you have a newborn, a lot of people bring food, so I'm not sure if we will need to, TBD, but I'm expecting our dining out budget to maybe be a little bit higher because we'll be tired and not really feeling like cooking. This includes not just going to restaurants, but also getting takeout from restaurants. Car gas, normally we have about $200 a month that we allocate for gasoline, but as my husband is a teacher, he does not commute in the summer and I work from home, so I'm actually thinking that this might be like less than $100, but I'm gonna set aside $100 just to play it safe. That seems reasonable. Like we're probably gonna be like in our house the entire month, like not going anywhere, maybe, you know, running some errands or going to the grocery store, but I think that's probably it. Our electric bill, last month it was $45.42. I haven't gotten the statement yet, although I expect to, like today probably, but since last month was $45, we haven't really used our AC almost at all, but I'm gonna put it at $50 just to be sure. We live in the Midwest, and so this, like the May, June months tend to be really temperate, and we just leave our windows open all through the house all day long, and it's really nice. We don't really start cranking the AC until late June into July and August. So anyways, yeah, I'm thinking 50 is probably what we'll be looking at. Last month our gas was $72.02. And we used our heat a few times in April. So I'm thinking I'm just going to keep it the same. I'm just going to put 72. It's probably even less than that. Next we have our water bill. I just paid this. So we pay every 2 months, and it's our water, you know, like garbage pickup, street sweeping, things like that. So I just paid this for April and May, so we actually won't pay again. We won't pay in June, but we will pay in July, and that's a consistent, I think it's like $160 or so. Although I'm wondering now, because we're going to be home, we're going to be watering our lawn, maybe I will amp that up to, it'll be $200 over the 2 months. Yeah, I'm going to keep it at that for now. I'm going to skip miscellaneous for now. Pest control, we will be having a mosquito spraying, like mosquito abatement coming our way in mid-June. I want to say it's like the 15th, and that'll be $85. We're just really, our neighbors have like a massive basically puddle in their backyard. It's not a lake, it's not a pond, it's just an undealt with divot that basically creates a mosquito haven. And it's not entirely their fault. Like, we live in the suburbs and we live in the Midwest. Like, there's gonna be mosquitoes. There's mosquitoes everywhere in the world, but they just seem particularly massive and really, really aggressive. So we're trying this year. We're gonna do some mosquito abatement, see if it works, if it doesn't harm our plants, and if we still notice the same amount of pollinators in our garden. We're gonna probably keep it up, but if we're noticing an impact with pollinators, or that it's not actually working, or that it's killing our flowers, we will, you know, obviously do a little bait and switch there. And then last but not least, I have caterer here. So I am hosting my sister's baby shower in July. I don't know what the cost of food is going to be. I clearly have to book that like ASAP, but anyways, I'm not sure what that amount is going to look like yet. I think I'm going to put aside like $1,000. Also, by the way, I forgot to mention when we started, this sheet is like, as you can see, there's a bunch of black print or ink stains on it. My printer is just nearing the end of its life, and I need to change out my black ink anyways, but this template is available at my Etsy shop for a digital download, and it's less than $1. I want to say it's like 80 cents. So just FYI, you would get the download and then you can print it as many times as you want to forever. You get the, just the image essentially that you can print on any type of paper that you want. Okay, so coming over this way, I'm not going to put anything in the due section except for Ally here. So on the 22nd of June, when my second paycheck hits, we will transfer $800 into our high yield savings account. Oh, I'm sorry, my camera's shaking, I just realized. This is just like a little over 4% interest. I want to say it's like 4.25% interest over the year. And we have some buckets of things that we're saving for that are long-term savings. I showed it in another video, you can check that out, but we're deciding to do $800 a month right now. We might amp this up in the future, but this seems like a conservative amount that we can consistently make as a recurring transfer. I'm also going to put 500 into our baby envelope. Essentially, I have in my silver like holographic cash binder here a cash emergency along with our high yield savings account like bucket in Ally, an emergency fund here. So we've got like a little cash one as well as a digital larger amount, and then like car maintenance, and then baby. So in here we've got some cash already set aside. Like I said, I just don't know what to expect in terms of costs. I've done some research and I want to have a few $1,000s set aside in cash and in our high yield savings, so that, if we need to make a run to the store and buy, a $50 pack of a billion diapers, or what does $50 get you in diapers? Like 2 diapers? They seem so expensive, but if we do need to run to a store to grab that, we can grab some out of here, and have a little bit that's building up in our high yield as well, to build interest. And if we're not using all of the amount that I've set aside, I'll put that into his 529 plan. And for anyone that's not familiar, a 529 plan is a college savings account. If they end up not going to college or not needing the full amount, you can roll it over into a Roth for that individual. So once he's born, we'll open up a 529 plan in his name with his social, and it's, funds specifically for him to use for college and beyond. But anyways, I digress. So we've got in here right now 100, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 1,000. I will be moving this very shortly into our high yield. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 850, 855, 6, 7, 850. So $1,857 in cash. This cash will not be sitting in my house for very much longer. This will be going into the high yield for him. But anyways, I digress. So all that to say, I would like to have about $500 more, say in the next week, that we pull out from like the rollover and allocate specifically to him. Okay, next is holidays. Oops, wrong pen. Actually, let me go back. I realized I didn't calculate this yet, and I need to figure out where we're at in terms of amounts. So let me do some calculations. So 400, 300, 100, 50, 72, 100, 85, 1000. Oops. And then, so we're already at 2107. I'm thinking miscellaneous. I'll put, I don't know. My husband likes to shop and to kind of on a whim go to Menards and buy some new tool or something. I'm gonna put 200 here. And then diapers, I'm gonna put 100. We already have a lot of diapers from like our shower and saved up. And again, I do have cash available, but we're probably gonna need another $100 worth of diapers and wipes and you know, all that jazz. So I'm gonna add 300 to that amount. So we're looking at 2407, 2407. So just for reference, what we're looking at right now in terms of a remaining balance is about $5,000 to be put into debt and savings and sinking funds. I would like to just kind of have all of it left over as a buffer if we're, you know, if we're not using it in that way. But let me carry on. So holidays, I'm gonna put 200 in small bills into our holiday binder. I showed this in another video, and I will link the Etsy account that I got these cute little envelopes from. Most of them have like little gnome designs. They're super cute. But so $200 in small increments. We're gonna put 100 of that into Christmas, and then the rest will be $5 or $10 amounts into the rest of the holidays. I only host, this last year I hosted Christmas Eve with my extended family on my mom's side. But all of the other, like, not birthday, not Mother's Day holidays, like the 4th of July, for example, like, we're not hosting. We're probably just going to be, like, bringing food or drink to somebody else's house. So most of the time we'll only need, like, $50 or less. Back to school, this is for, like, decor for my husband's classroom. Oops, sorry, I'm out of frame. Halloween, you know, Halloween candy. Thanksgiving, probably just, like, pie ingredients. But anyways, I digress. We're going to put about 200 in there. Half of it will go to Christmas. The other half of it will go to all the rest. And then we have, for me and my husband, our kind of personal. I'm going to put, I'm just going to do 100 in each for now. This is also going into this silver binder. The 100 for my husband goes into his Rolex fund. He really, really wants a birth year Rolex. Whereas for me, the 100 will get split up into probably a 50 and then some 20s and 5s to go into, let's see, where are mine? New car. This is also part of our 800 that goes to our high yield account. The part that's in our high yield savings account, the bucket, is for the car itself, and then this is for the other things. So insurance, tank of gas, license and registration. So I've got $14.35 that I need to save there. I want a new computer. I have $70 left that I need to save for the one that I want. Washer dryer is totally on the back burner right now, and then trench coat is just a coat that I have my eye on that costs about $3.50. So it's expensive, but it'll be long lasting. $195 that I still have to go there before I can buy that. Anyways, so those are, so like I said, my husband will get 100, I'll get 100, but mine will be divvied up into smaller amounts to be spread out across a few different things. House is also for that silver binder, the kind of various house projects we have. So our garage, just some general home improvement stuff, and we want a new TV. So in the house, I'm going to put, for now, 200. And then travel, last but not least, our last cash envelope. This is for a trip that we're hoping to take next year to the UK, to visit some friends. So we'll probably, I think we're going to put $200 in here. And then we also have in our high yield account a bucket for the flights themselves. Okay, so that's that. Let me actually put I'm gonna put, this is kind of for the future. I'm not gonna fill this out today, but if we have additional rollover money, you know, like we did in May, and especially if it's coming out to more than 1,500, I will put more into our high yield and more into our little kind of for the baby folder. Yeah, so that's the goal. So this amounts to, where are we at? 500, oops, 200, 800, 100, 100, oops, typo, 200, 200. So this will be 2,100 as well. And then last but not least is our debt section. My parents very generously helped us out with some wedding and house expenses that hit. Like I mentioned, our house flooded. So we actually owe them, as of today, $9,500. It's an interest-free loan. They've referred to it as a gift now, but I'm not taking no for an answer. I plan to pay them back however long it takes. Once we've gotten in a rhythm with our new little pal and have figured out how much he costs per month, this will hopefully get up to like $500 a month that we'll pay them. But at the end of June, once we've paid them $100, we will be down to $9,400. But it's very possible that they will get paid a lot more than that, because we obviously have a lot more than that available currently. But I just, you know, I'm being cautious. They want me to be pretty conservative with our budget right now, just because, like I said, you never know. We don't know if there will be unexpected medical expenses for our little love. But right now we are coming out to a rollover of $3,068. So all things considered, this is clearly not a zero-based budget for this month, but if we actually end up with this amount left over, more to our savings, more to our baby's 529 that will get started, hopefully paying off our full hospital bill in a lump sum, and then whatever we've got left to my parents. And this M&D stands for mom and dad, for anyone that's wondering. So yeah, and then, I mean, I guess we can say like leftover. I'll make a little note here for us so that we have some goals in mind. Oops. Ally 2, baby 2. So these are like second payment for the high yield, second payment for the baby. Possibly some more catering, you know, beefing up our order, or, you know, getting, you know, more decor for the shower for July. My husband likes to golf, so maybe some golf rounds if he wants to get out of the house. My parents, and more savings. So that's, oh, and like I said, forgot hospital bill. I'm not going to put a monthly goal beyond just have rollover. I'm not going to put a lot of pressure on myself with our groceries and dining out. If those come higher, you know, I really don't care. Like we've got enough money that it won't be the end of the world. This is going to be one of the most strenuous months of our lives in terms of sleep deprivation and just a lot of adjustments. And so we're taking it easy and we're being kind to ourselves and not trying to break our backs over being super diligent with our budget, especially when we are liquid enough to be able to carry over $3,000 even after savings and retirement and all that. So that's where my head's at right now. Actually, I'm going to put one thing. No credit card. We currently don't have a balance on our credit cards. I would like to continue that. The only exception may be if our hospital bill is like $3,000, we have enough to pay that off in full. I will put that onto a credit card and then pay it off the day that the account balance hits, because $3,000 is a lot of great points. But on June 30th, I do not want a single dollar on any of our cards. So there we are. There we have it. So that's an overview of our family's monthly budget. Wish us luck. Wish me luck in particular, but wish us both luck as we're adjusting to life with a newborn. Tune in next week for some book-related content. I'm gonna do hopefully a couple posts and have them pre-filmed for next week. But yeah, my delivery is next week, so keep your fingers crossed for me. And thank you again for tuning in to Books and Budget. Have a great week. Bye.